Welcome, and let's get started. Welcome guys. Great to have you back for another stream. I'm quickly getting myself set up. We had some internet issues. Thankfully, we got that sorted in the nick of time. But let me know where in the world you're tuning in from, and then we'll kick off. We've got a Christian saying hola. So hey Christian, welcome, good to see you. Always amazing to see our international audience, you know, all the way from down under, Australia, Asia, Japan, Europe, North America, South Africa, Canada. Obviously really awesome to see so many people from so many areas. So welcome Daniel, welcome Tactically Torah saying shalom. Yeah, that's awesome. Peace to you. He's from Oklahoma. Daniel's tuning in from Sierra Leone. Wow. We've not had Odani. We've not had someone tuning in from Sierra Leone. So welcome. Oklahoma. DJ from Indiana, USA. We've got Steven Sigling, one of our Academy members from South Africa. Welcome. We've got Brian Beloshopka, another one from our Academy members from Indiana, US. Brian from another Oklahoma, and then obviously Kenan, he's our right-hand man here, getting all of our tech always sorted out and editing all of our videos. So give Kenan a shout out in the chat. He's the man behind all of our edits and making sure that everything's plugged in where it should go, and awesome to have him taking care of everything. And then we've got Antti, another one of our members tuning in from Finland. Hey Antti, great to see you. We should do a demo of your voicing visualizer on one of these episodes. You must let me know when we can do that. That'll be awesome. And then we've got Brian from Texas. They say, how do you pronounce, or the right pronunciation? I know howdy, but is it hola or hola, or I must work on my Spanish, because I know you guys are there next to the Mexican border. What a awesome language as well. Great one to learn. So welcome Brian. Awesome to see everybody. Well, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be focusing on hybrid picking, and that's a really great one to learn as a technique, and I'm going to go ahead and explain that to you guys in a second. But before I do that, let me just do a quick sound check just to make sure that everything is working fine. There's a story about, I forget his name now, it will come to me, Sting's guitar player, Damien, I can't remember his name, it's been a while, but he went for the for an audition for with Sting's band to play guitar, and he took all of his pedals. That was before, obviously he was famous and was well known and had money to buy what he needed. He had pedals in like a black bag, and he got there, and Sting's roadies and everybody got him set up and everything. And then when it was finally time to now play for the audition, he started playing. No sound came out of the guitar, much like mine, because I was set on the tuner. But in any case, no sound came out. So then all the techs, they went and looked for the cables between the pedals, checked the guitar amp, just everything, right? Making, like, literally checking everything. And I don't know how long passed, but maybe half an hour to an hour. They just couldn't get the sound going. And it turned out that he was so nervous he forgot to turn up his volume, right? So if you don't turn up your volume, you are not going to be heard. So hopefully you can hear my guitar. Thanks for helping me with that pronunciation. Hola. All right. Awesome. Hola. The H is silent. That's great to know. And then we've got Eddie from East Tennessee. Welcome back, Eddie. Eddie, great to see you. Dominic Miller, yes, that's it. I had Damien stuck in my head for some reason. Dominic Miller, that was the guitarist. So there you go. Sometimes when your tech doesn't work, it's so simple as a volume knob. So let's quickly check it with the track and the guitar. Let me know what the mix is like, and then we're going to dig into today's content. right, so let me know if you guys are happy with the levels there, because we're going to be using that today throughout the stream. Calvin tuning in from Malaysia. Kenan is letting me know the audio is good. Eric tuning in from Atlanta. Hey Eric, I've been to Atlanta, great city. Donnie's first day to join our live stream, and Joseph also his first time for a live. Well, welcome guys, great to have you. All right, so with all the formalities out of the way, sound is working. We've got a truly international audience here again. So let's dig into today's topic, which is hybrid picking, and I'm going to be talking to you about that in a second. And if you have any questions around any of the things that we discussed today or anything about virtual guitar in particular, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section, and then I will go ahead and answer those questions a little bit later as well. All right. And Eric says, all good, nice tone, good volume. That's awesome. That's what we're aiming for here. All right. So think about the guitar. When we play guitar, when you learn to play guitar, it's basically kind of strumming and all those kind of things. And what happens when you play like that? Well, you play one chord, so it's a bunch of notes together in your fretting hand, and you're striking all those notes together. So, and that can be quite fun, right? To play guitar like that. But if you think about it, it's very one-dimensional, because I'm playing a bunch of notes that I'm striking all together. Now think of how a piano player plays. Well, first of all, they don't strike the chords like this. They'll play a chord with the left hand, and then they'll play some melody stuff in the right hand, so single notes. And we call those arpeggios, which means a broken chord. So therefore, they can get a lot more interesting things happening, because they don't play like this. If you were to play like that on the piano, yes, there are times that they might do certain stabs like that with the band or whatever. But if you play like this on the piano, it's going to very soon start to sound not so nice. Whereas if you learn to play a chord and arpeggiate and do those kind of things, then you get a lot more depth and dimension in from your playing. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, of course, the standard approach in order to kind of get some of these things going, let's go to a clean sound here real quick, is on the guitar I can do fingerstyle if I want to get that pianistic vibe going. Or if you were to do like the Spanish, we were joking about Spanish pronunciation, me not knowing how to say hola. But now if you wanted to do like Spanish romance, obviously the wrong guitar for that. It should be played on the nylon string. But can you hear there's a lot more depth happening and a lot more melodic content that I can bring out when I play fingerstyle. All those kind of things really nice with fingerstyle playing, which is a very different approach when you play, and obviously mostly on acoustic, but you can do all these things on the guitar as well. Now, hybrid picking is a hybrid. It's a combination of using my pick for the strumming, but then I have my pick like this, and then these other fingers right there, they can pick the notes. So I can play those kind of voicings that I can now play with a little bit more intention, as opposed to just striking the strings all together. So let me know in the comments how many of you actually use hybrid picking, because obviously you have, let's look at all the choices. You can play with just your fingers, option 1. You can play with just your pick, option 2. You can use your pick to pick the strings on their own, option 3, or you can use a combination. Let's see see if I go to my second cam, if you can get a close up there on this hand. So you can look at this hand here. You'll see there that when I do hybrid picking, so then that's my fourth option that I have there, which is to use my pick and my finger. So that is hybrid picking. It's pick and fingers. Now typically that's reserved, or not reserved, but the folks who really use that a lot would be country guitar players. And so that they can play really fast passages, because if you have to pick all the notes just with your pick, which they call flat picking, you have to work a lot harder than when you can use your pick and your fingers, because now you have three fingers, your pick, your middle finger and your ring finger, that can go ahead and strike out strings. So if I were to be on like a ambient tone, I'll quickly show you what I can do. So Eric is saying he's using it, but probably not the right way. I've never had any real instruction on how to use hybrid picking, just kind of ad hoc. Yeah, we're going to talk through that. We've got Tactically Torah says use hybrid and pick and 25% of the time, unless he's playing a country style. And Joseph is saying he's used hybrid picking, but not a lot. And Conrad from Cape Town saying, I've been doing a hybrid picking for years. I love it. It opens up the landscape with so much more expression. 100% right. Eddie has attempted hybrid picking, and Isaac is now trying to incorporate it, but doesn't really know how, because he sees a lot of different things on YouTube. All right, great. So we've got a nice mix over here with you guys using hybrid picking. And I'm just going to demonstrate something like if I've got a very ambient tone like this. Then obviously I can be very specific about what I play. But if I do that with a pick, I don't have the same control. So that's one reason to do it when you play hybrid picking. But in the way that we're going to look at it today is to kind of mostly use these two fingers, your pick and then the middle finger, to actually get some more precision across the neck. So we've got DJ saying he's never tried it, so hopefully after today you'll go ahead and find some ways to try it. And Brian is saying he's done some hybrid picking using a thumb pick. Yeah, that's another way to do it when you have a pick on your thumb. I've never been able to get the hang of that myself, but it's a great way. And then Darren saying, Charles, I'm back. Welcome back, Darren. Awesome to see you. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up the track. It's a 1/4, and then what I'm going to play is these 2/4 4/2 voicings. And then you can see what I'm going to do there with my hybrid picking, and then afterwards I'm going to break it down. I'm going to play a couple of variations that if I were to jam on a Sunday, just kind of looking at what I might play. Then we'll look at some progressions as well. But let's play that 1/4 progression and show you guys a couple of patterns, because now we know what it is. And if you want to get a hang of it, just start doing this alternating between, you're going to pick the D string, and then with your pick on the 5th fret, and you're going to pick with your middle finger on the B string on the 3rd fret. So that's G and D. Even just a simple alternating between those two things. It gives you opposite. So you've got low, high, low, high. And if you think of a piano player, they might go low, high, low, high, low, high, like that. It's a very common pattern. So let's start with a pattern like that over this track. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm just doing that at a high level just to show you what you might consider doing with the hybrid picking, and you'll just alternate it. But if you notice, I didn't play that the whole time. I played 3, 4, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3. So I've got a nice 16th note rhythm. So that's one way that you can do it, is cycling between two notes and a very specific rhythm. And then DJ's asking, is that all the same two strings? Yes, it's all the same two strings. It's the D string and my frets, fret 5 and 3 on the B string, fret 3, fret 5 on the D string. And then I move all that up to C. So that's a pattern that you can go and learn. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2. Like if I were to play that, strum that. That's my rhythm. Down, up, down, up, up, down. Down, up, down, up, up, down. And I can pick the same rhythm. So can you see, whatever you would have played from a rhythm strumming point of view, you can play that exact same thing and you can pick it. So I'm going to do the track one more time, and this time I'm going to strum, and then on the repeat I will play the same strumming rhythm, but I'm going to pick it with hybrid picking. Pick, middle, pick, middle, pick. Check it out. Here we go, strumming. Strumming. And now I'm going to pick. Same rhythm. A little bit less, but same rhythm. You can hear that creates a nice beat. So there we go. Rhythmic, it's vibey, but it's not in your face. And now I can do this type of thing. Check this out. Adding another note. Adding another note. Same rhythm. Okay, so Sparky saying he's loving this. That's awesome. And Joseph says he's got to try this on his guitar. So what I want to show you is I've just taken this rhythm like you would normally play that, but then I hybrid pick it. Quite effective because it's a rhythm that works, but instead of playing all the chords at the same time, I'm picking them. I split the notes. So I'm using a rhythm that works, I'm using a voicing that works, but now I'm picking the voicing in a different way. And check this out. If we were to, instead of playing 4-2, I can play 4-2-1. So fret 5 on the D, fret 3 on the B and the G. So now I can go. Yeah, I'm playing the high note. I'm playing that high note. change my voicing. Or I can, same rhythm, but I shift up. So that's the same rhythm that I played as a strumming. I played one chord with 2 notes. I played one chord with 3 notes, and I only played the highest note on the second time. And then I played one chord with 2 voicings. So let's try and up the ante here a little bit. I am going to play another track. Let's just find another track here real quick. Okay, let's do a 1 6 4 5 in G. So 1 6 4 5. Okay, I'm gonna play that. I'm just gonna have to tap my tempo in quickly.
2 3 4.
Okay, E minor, C D. I'm gonna play the same thing with the strum. Straight to the picking. Hybrid picking. Rhythm from earlier. Okay, so I'm just playing around with the tracks, but you can see I can use the same rhythm, and then I can experiment with what I can do. Something else that you might do instead of going, you can maybe go. That's a second pattern I want to show you, and what I'm doing there is I'm just going I'm picking 2 notes together. Remember in the beginning we split the notes. We split the notes like this. So it's all separate notes that I'm picking like that. But the second pattern is together, separate, together. So I'm picking both notes together, low note, both notes, low note. And if so it's almost like this other note is going the whole time. So let's try that now with that same track. I'll push it up a little bit there.
Intro, 2 3
same track, right?
4.
Now split them. Totally different feel. Okay, I'll just stop there for a sec. So the pattern there, just to remind you again, both pick only. Pick and finger, pick. 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 So those are two different ways in which I can go ahead and experiment with my hybrid picking. One is where I split the notes, or one is I play both together and then just both together and then just the low note. You know, there's so many patterns that you can do, and we'll look at a few more. So Sparky's saying, you're jogging my brain, small additions to what you've already taught me. Yeah, 100%. So all of these things, they are just voicings that we've learned before, but now you learn a different way to play the voicing. So it's not just what you say, the notes that you play, but it's how you say it. Do you use hybrid picking? Do you use hammer-ons and pull-offs? How are you playing these notes? Yeah. And Joseph saying he feels like he can use the pick for more intense parts of the song, like choruses, and then use hybrids for the verse or more quiet parts. Yes, totally. So I can go, and that's why I like this. So let's just say I'm playing a nice open part. I can even be on a coil tap like this. So and then I can go. I've got my pick right there if I want to dig in. Then I can dig in with something else. So yes, you can. The pick is then handy there for when you want to strike chords, when you want to play single notes, or when you want to play more gentle arpeggiating patterns. Right, Eric. Yeah, we've tuned up the track there a little bit. Hopefully it's better now. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, cool. So the track should be a little bit louder there now. And then Sparky's asking, are you typically live on Thursdays in the morning? Yes. So it's 4 p.m. for us in South Africa. We are 6 hours ahead of Eastern Standard and 7 hours ahead of Central and 9 hours ahead of Pacific and 12 hours ahead of Hawaii and 8 hours behind Australia, 11 hours behind New Zealand and an hour or two behind London, depending on whether they've got time zone, etc. So yeah, that's when we typically do these. So feel free to tune in. And for any of you, if you want to get access to all of the previous shows, I think today's episode 23, you can just go to thatworshipguitarshow.com and then you can sign up for free and you can get access to all of the replays. They're also on YouTube. All right, so Tactically Torah saying, do you spend most of your time in the high and mid triads? It seems like that's what would cut through the mix. Yes, definitely. That's where I spend most of my time. I'll either do... I can... Or I can then go to chords. Or like low. And you can cover such a wide range depending on the kind of voicings that you want to experiment with. But that's where I spend most of my time. Yes, that's correct. Joseph saying, great, he's enjoying that. And Manuel, another one of our members, he's half an hour behind. All right, yeah, so there's some of those half an hour time zones as well. I know India is definitely one of them and so forth. So the time zones make life interesting, right? So that is hybrid picking at its core. There's nothing really... to it. It's just got to be about like what patterns do you feel work well. So I'm just going to give you a couple of ideas here. You can split the notes like I've done by starting on the low note. All right, and you can also go high note first. You hear the difference with the high note first. Now I'm going to go low note first. see that's very different than a high note first, right? Then it's obviously you can pick stuff separately, and you can move. You can move up the neck like that, or you can do the thing where you play two notes together and you split it. Etc. You can just go and experiment. So those are a couple of ways. You either split it starting on the low note, or split it starting on a high note, or play two together with that note in between, or play patterns. Really experiment so much with that, and also you can kind of cover a lot of ground. So if I play, and then your pick is right there when you want to play single note stuff as well. So that's hybrid picking at its core. I'll do some more detailed breakdowns for us in our actual upcoming videos. We can tab out some examples and so forth so that you can just get a pattern that works for you. But just start experimenting with these simple patterns I've shown you just to kind of get the hang of it. And you can choose either pick and middle finger together, or you can do pick, middle, and ring together as well. Manuel's saying he's half an hour behind. And Jums is saying it's 10:30 in Manila. We have a lot of folks tuning in from the Philippines, so great to see you. I didn't actually know. Oh, well, 10:30, so then it's not a half an hour difference. It's 4:38, so my math is letting me down on the fly here. But great to have you with us, Jums. And Brian is saying he likes this much better than a thumb pick, and you can't really use it like a normal pick for harder strumming. And that's kind of my reason for liking that as well, because then I can be bold and big for like a strong chorus if I need to support that, or I can be soft and gentle with picking or anything in between. And that's really what we all love about the guitar. So that's why I love it, and I get to get the best of both worlds. And what a great name, hybrid picking. It's a hybrid between using your pick and your fingers. And Eric saying, great instruction, Charles. I can put this to use this Sunday. Awesome. Happy to hear that. Grace and peace to you and our Lord Christ Jesus. Thank you so much, Eric, and same for you. And that's really the goal here, is to make it practical for you guys, to see that what you can use on a Sunday and do what you want to do. Just having the techniques. And basically, I always use this thing, as I say, language. Music is like a language. And as we know, it's not just what we say, it's how we say it. All right, so what you say might be your voicings. You might use 4/2 voicings like I've shown you. But how are you going to say it? Well, I can strum it. I can pick it. I can, with hybrid picking, I can pick it with just a pick. I can add in an embellishment, I can add in palm muting, all these kind of things. And you can even do palm muting together with hybrid picking. I lost my train of thought here, but basically you can hybrid pick and you can come up with some really fun sounds there. So good to hear that you guys are enjoying the variations and getting something from there. So go ahead and always remember, it's not just what you say, but it's how you say it, and then see what you can come up with over there. So if you guys have any more questions, I'm happy to answer a couple more questions for you guys. Let's put ourselves on the spot here, and let's do a 1-4-6-5 in the key of F. These are all from our practice pack, by the way, so there should be a link in the description if you want some of these tracks to practice along with. 1-4-6-5 in F will be F, B flat, D minor, C. Oh yeah, and then let me just answer this question. Jim's asked about my string gauge, and I think someone else also asked about that earlier. So I'm using 10 to 46, so a 10 to 46 string gauge, and I like to use Elixir strings. I've just used them for many years. They've got like a coating on the string that prevents some of your, as you play, skin and dirt and all that kind of stuff goes into the grooves of the string. So Elixir, they have this, I believe it's Gore-Tex. It's the same kind of material that they use when they give people heart, what do they call it? Bypass surgery or valves or whatever. It's from a medical field. So then they decided, well, what happens if we coat our strings with Gore-Tex, and then the strings tend to last a little bit longer. So that's what I use over there. So I'm just going to have a quick jam here over this 1-4-6-5. I'll play a variety of things. F, B flat, D minor, C. And if you guys have any more questions, feel free to pop them in the comment section there, and then we can cover a few more before we tune out for the day.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
Alright, so as you can see, just making things up on the fly, but when you have hybrid picking, you are able to kind of get some additional sounds out of your guitar there. How long have I had this PRS? I bought my PRS secondhand. I think it was in 2002. So I've had it for just over 20 years, and at that time it was already secondhand. So the person who had it before me, I think this was made in the late 90s, so I guess, or who knows, mid 90s, so it could be close to 30 years old. Yeah, so a big fan of the PRS. I like the white fat neck on it. I like the dragon pickups. I like the fact that I can have a coil tap here to split my humbuckers into singles. And I also have a Strat, and I've got a Music Man, but I just never play them. I'm so used to this guitar, and I actually need to play my other guitars a little bit more, but yeah, I'm a big fan of them. It's quality stuff, and at the end of the day, if you find a guitar that you can connect with, that you know well, that's what all that matters. And this is kind of what happened with me with this one over here. And then Sparky's also using Elixir for all of these guitars. That's awesome. Yeah, they're great. And then Jim saying thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. Do you guys have any other questions? Let me know, and then happy to answer a few more. And I'll just leave you guys with this: is contrasts always work really well in music. So if you can go from loud to soft, or a lot of notes to a few notes, or to hybrid picking versus strumming, or single notes versus chords, or low versus high, or high versus low, all these opposites, when you bring that variety in, it just gives you so much more variety in your playing. So yeah, we can go ahead and maybe play one more track. Let's do a 1, 4, 6, 5 in D, just to kind of keep us on our toes here. So D, G, B minor, A. So D, G, B minor, A. Let's check that one out.
Intro 2, 3, 4.
D, G, B minor, A. Single notes, D.
Turn.
Wrong note there, B minor, A,
Outro 2, 3, 4.
So a couple of variety and variations there. If you want tracks like these to practice along with, you can check the link in the description. So Sparky says he just got some piezo pickups for the PRS. Yeah, I've never had a guitar with those, but that's also nice when you can add in that. It just brings in another cool sound. So that's awesome to hear. And Joseph is saying he's thinking about buying a guitar. What should I choose? What should I consider? Do I have any recommendation? You know what? I unfortunately don't, because it's been so long since I bought a guitar. New, like obviously my main guitar, I've had it for 20 years, but let's just see if I were to go and buy a guitar right now. I guess it depends what kind of sound you're looking for, and the main thing is sometimes you can have two of the same guitars. In fact, this happened to me. The funny story is, at the time, there was this store. Kenan is saying it must buy Veritas. Yeah, that's awesome sounding guitars. I've never played them, so interesting story is sometimes you can have two of the same guitars, but they can feel different and sound different. So many years ago, before I bought my PRS, we had this guitar store where I lived. Called Guitar World, and it only sold like really fancy, expensive guitars. And I ended up only buying an acoustic there a couple of years later, but they were the importers for PRS. So one day, and I saved up some money over time, and one day I actually had enough money to buy a PRS, and we went to the store with a friend of mine, and we both saw this gold top kind of custom 22, I think, or 24 PRS, and I had the money to buy it, but then I saw this friend of mine was like really keen to buy it, but he didn't have the money, and he actually saw the guitar before me. So long story short, I could have just bought the guitar that day, and then if I remember correctly, I might have loaned him some money so that he could actually buy the guitar and forgo the opportunity to buy that one. And a few weeks later or a few months later, I don't remember, I got the opportunity to buy this one. And then when I compare and contrasted the two PRSs, they were both nice, both PRSs, but I just so much more preferred this one than the other one. If I bought that one, I probably wouldn't have connected as well as I did this one. So I'm telling that story that it can be two of the same guitars, but they might feel different and sound different, right? So that's something to bear in mind. But Joseph has said he's mainly looking for a guitar for church purposes and praise and worship music. I guess I might recommend a Telecaster, a Fender Tele, because it's going to cut through the mix. It's got a very distinct sound. and it's not so. The Strat is also nice, but you probably don't see a lot of guitarists playing Strats, maybe except for Lincoln Brewster in the worship scene. It's more Tellys and Gretches, and obviously some of the guys playing Veritas, and I guess a couple of PRSs and so forth. But I'd probably get a good Telly, and then if you look at, and I could be wrong here, but some of the famous brands, if you buy their entry-level guitar, then you're paying more for the brand name than what you are for the guitar. So be careful of that as well, to not buy a fancy brand but entry-level guitar. Because sometimes if you were to look at a brand like Tokai, for example, or even the Made in Mexico kind of Tellys and so forth, then when you don't pay so much for the brand name, more of your money goes to the guitar itself. So I will try and do some research and see what some of the go-to guitars are. But the Tellys can be very versatile, like tactically Tora's saying here. So I like the Tellys. Canon has a Telly. It's not out on the stand here. But if I didn't have my PRS, I'd probably go that route. Unless I win the lottery, then I'll probably get the Veritas, like Kenan said. Well, those are expensive. I think like $4,000. But yeah, lovely guitars. And most importantly for the guitar, you got to get quality wood and a quality build. Because if you don't get quality wood, you're going to get poor tone. And if you don't get a quality build, you're going to get bad tuning, and it's not going to be reliable in that sense. All right, so unfortunately, I don't know those pieces of gear. The only ones that I really know is the Kemper Profiler and the Line 6 Helix that I've got. So unfortunately, I can't advise you on that. It's also been a while since I bought that. But what I can say is I've heard more things about the Headrush than what I've heard about the other Unity. Brian's saying he's used Elixirs on his acoustic 6 and 12 string forever, but I've been using Ernie Ball coded Slinkies for electrics, which are similar. We didn't even realize the Elixir made electric strings. Yeah, the Slinkies are also good. I also used them for a while. So the Ernie Balls are definitely also a common one. Brian says, I don't play one, but might look at a HSS Strat, humbucker single. Yeah, humbuckers are nice for when you need to kind of get that drive and big fat chords. So HSS means humbucker like mine here, and then 2 single coils, which can get you some more glossy, stratty tones, which is nice. And tactically, Tora says he almost bought a Tele Elite before he found his PRS. So hopefully that helps, Joseph. I'll try and do some more research. Darren is here saying he's playing his Tele and it's his go-to guitar and a favorite for worship. So yeah, that's just some confirmation there to go for those. And then Eric is saying, might we happen to have any patches of this tone for a Boss GT100? Unfortunately, we don't. The only patches we've got is for the Helix. But we'll try and branch out to do a few more patches, but unfortunately we haven't had any for those. And then Edward is saying hello from Wisconsin. Makes me think of that 70s show, because I used to watch it many years ago with my wife, and they always have that hello Wisconsin in the beginning of the show. So hey Edward, welcome, and thanks for tuning in. All right, guys, so thank you so much for tuning in today. Hopefully this has been useful for you about hybrid picking and helping you to just get a bit more depth out of your guitar. Instead of just strumming all the strings together, you can actually pick them a bit more, get some more sophisticated patterns and sounds out of your guitar. They work great for many voicings, many different things. And hopefully you get a lot out of that, and then you can go ahead and put that to work when you play on Sunday. But as always, thanks for tuning in. Earlier this week, we published a video about some must-have worship guitar accessories. Feel free to go and watch that. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I think, let me just show you a place like, let's just see this real quick. That's the wrong window. We have overlays. Okay, cool. So if you go to worshipguitarskills.com/questions, then you are able to post any questions, and then I'll answer them in some of our upcoming Q&A sessions. And Conrad saying he didn't know that there were guitars other than Strats. Yeah, The Fender Strat is definitely an iconic guitar. Mine is over here. So I'll play that in one of the streams. I'm just going to get some fresh strings on that. That's crafted in Japan. And so yeah, I'll go and grab that one for us next time. And then Manuel says he's got a Les Paul, Epiphone Les Paul with a coil tap. And you haven't seen anyone rocking the Les Paul. Yeah, I've not played one of those very much. But the Porty Smith is kind of in a similar vein. But yeah, the Les Paul's also a good one. But yeah, you also don't see that often in worship. You're right. And Sparky says, God bless. And Conrad says, thank you. This was a fantastic session. All right. So, yeah, wonderful. I pray that you guys will experience the peace of God and that you can live in that resurrection power that Jesus has made available to us, and that you continue to grow in your skill and your gifting as a worship guitarist so that you can go ahead and facilitate powerful moments of worship for your congregation and your family, because we know that, in His presence, mountains melt like wax, and there's times of refreshing, and we all need a touch and encounter from God, and it's a continuous thing. So good for you for working on your skills and your abilities, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all of your support. Much love to you guys. We probably might miss a few comments because we got a bit of a delay. So if I didn't read any of your final ones, apologies. But thanks for tuning in. Have a blessed one. We'll be back again next Thursday with another live show. And if you want to go to thatworshipguitarshow.com, you can sign up, and then you'll get notifications for when we're going to go live, and also the replays of all the shows. You'll get access to those. So go ahead to thatworshipguitarshow.com, and hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week. And Joseph said he learned a lot. That's awesome. That's what we're here for. And Tactically Torah says, amen. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have an awesome one, and I'll see you next week. And if you're looking for some more videos to watch, we've got plenty on our YouTube channel. Feel free to dig in and help yourself. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Bye-bye.